going to talk about that?
I mean, are you shitting me? I mean, are you?
Well, here's the
decide
thing.
Not to? Well, tell me what happened.
All right, I'll go into it. But today I need your story. So here's the deal. We're going to talk about arm bets here. I can't help but equate the arm bets app to a dating service.
Okay.
Can't help it.
Okay.
I can't help it. So
it's all good.
As we've already gone over, I download the app. Within a few days, I get message from people who know me and are like, Gary Roberts is in Oregon. And within 30 minutes, I'm arm wrestling Sean on a trash can. And it's like, felt great. Already went over all that. That experience was so easy that I was unprepared for now the rest of my experience, which has been a little bit of a letdown. I can only say this about Armbet. Don't go in like a dating service, desperate. Because if you get desperate, then you get let down if no one responds to your messages. Or someone sets up a date and they cancel at the last minute. You're getting ready to drive to their house, pick them up for a nice dinner. And then they're like, I'm not feeling so well. I may have COVID. So maybe we shouldn't go out.
Hey, listen. Let's just put this out there. I mean, I'm glad you just enlightened me a little bit. So, what's worse? Inviting someone on a date and them canceling, or in finding an arm wrestler and you want to arm wrestle and finding one and them then canceling that date, right?
Wait,
That's
say
what
that
you're
again?
saying. The arm wrestler can also cancel the date just like the online dating service lady could, right?
Yeah.
Right. But here also too, imagine the letdown when you go after someone, right? Either thinking you can beat them and then just getting handled, or thinking that, this is going to be this great learning experience and finding out that they're really a undersized midget opposed to their profile, and they're not even 230-pound beasts like you were expecting, right? So the fact is, there's a lot of stress even opening the door to someone on a date or a future arm wrestling sparring partner.
Here's the thing. What I've noticed so far is a lot of people that I've connected with on the app are newer. They say 1 year experience, no experience. And I've noticed some hesitation. So I had someone act so excited to meet up, and then I feel like they Googled me, and then they were like, wait. I was like, no, do I need
Well, that's the thing. Like, that app requires a certain level of leaving your ego at the door and humility, right? Because, I mean, the new people have to expect to lose, right? Or no?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I said, listen, everything I've said on this channel aside, if you're new and clearly hesitant, I mean, again, like dating, we will go at your pace, whatever pace you're comfortable with. I'm not going to sucker punch you into a meetup and then be like, bitch, slap. Like if you're not.
Well, you know what the hesitation with you may be is they could probably do this arm bets very secretly, right? They could secretly go through the channels, find an arm wrestling club, find a best buddy that arm wrestles, or they could, their first time out, be crushed on the internet for 1 hour like a bitch with this guy. Maybe that's their hesitation. But what I'm thinking is that you could make me a star. All right.
I've experimented with how I've approached it. Like I've dropped, hey man, I'm in your neighborhood. do you want to arm wrestle? Like, no details. I've experimented with, hey, I'm Gary Roberts Arm TV. I'm trying to get as many meetups as possible for footage for my podcast. I dropped Travis Bagent's name. I have a podcast tonight. I need some meetup footage.
Whoa. My man. As I would appreciate when you entertain the dating sites, as long as Armbets, let's put that in the same category.
Armbet. It's not ego.
Whatever. Okay. Whatever. Please make sure you refrain from using my brand. Okay? I mean, like that shirt says, my brand is unbuyable.
Yeah. I did. I even dropped Devon Larratt. I was like, I'm making a video for Devon. I'm not making a video for Devon, but of course
You're thinking Devon might watch it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm in a unique position where I can make videos and I can get them out to a lot of people. And because I'm not Travis Bagent out there, you know, I get what you're saying, but I feel like I have a better chance of meeting up with the new guy. Now, someone's going to want to meet you just to like get a signature. But I mean, like in terms of like arm wrestling and
interesting though. Let's just like, if you're a brand new arm wrestler and you get on Armbet, are you interested in winning or learning?
Learning.
Well, that's you maybe. I'm talking about, is that everyone else? Because there could be a situation where I think that arm wrestlers are very weird, selfish people that do not like losing. And I think that the Armbet's profile is important. And, you know, probably they're going to more chance of winning, would probably be funner, and maybe a little less camera work might be what they're interested in at the beginning. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
On the flip side, I can't believe because of these shows that you haven't been getting flooded with, yo, fly to Nashville, I'll fucking kick your ass.
I'm getting that. No, dude, don't worry, bro.
That's covered.
I'm getting that, bro. Okay. I've got dates in Missouri, Pennsylvania, Long Island. I'm like, get in line, sir.
You're looking for someone in the greater Oregon area.
Well, now I'm back in Chicago, but I just spent a week in San Francisco, and I was messaging. I'm like, I need to have a meetup. The Oregon hookup, it was like, again, like the dating site. Imagine, if you will. Okay, I'll give you a story. This story is public knowledge for people in my life. I graduated high school. And my brother was married to a stripper at the time. And I immediately go to my brother's house. The first day, it's like I graduated high school, then I go to my brother's house. And it's the first day of summer vacation after high school. And he goes, hey, there's a party tonight. And I'm like, oh, what kind of party? He's like, it's a 4th of July party. And he said, my wife's work is having a party with a bunch of strippers. Do you want to go? And I'm like 18. I'm like, of course I want to go. So I go to this party and everyone's drinking, and one, like a really hot stripper starts flirting with me. And I mean, let's just say that like everyone was like, hey, go get a room because there's too much PD. And it's like,
weird.
It's like a crazy night. And I'm like, I wake up in the morning.
Did you bang her?
Oh, I mean, come on.
Ew,
so
a stripper girl?
Yeah,
oh my God. I would never.
You lie.
Bang a stripper?
What? There's a video on your YouTube channel with you're putting money on a stripper's ass.
Yeah, I know. But if you forward a little bit sooner, you see my wife there saying, yo, let's go home, dude. We got soccer practice in the morning.
Your wife was there?
Yeah, just wait till the thing ends. Right after I throw the money, Casey grabs my ear and we go out the thing. It was funny as shit.
Okay, I missed that part. Oh, I'll
you couldn't take your eyes off of that girl's ass. Yeah.
Anyways, so just to make that story even more funny is I wake up in the morning and I was like, I can't believe that happened. And then the very next week, one of my uncles was getting married, and he wanted some strippers for his bachelor party. And so he called my brother, and he's like, hey, can your wife supply some strippers to the bachelor party? And she's like, yeah, I'll get my friend who was the girl I hooked up with. So the very next Saturday, I go to this bachelor party where there's like 40 men. Now, granted, I'm young, and at that time, it's pretty studly, and these are a bunch of old dudes. But I'm watching this girl strip, and everyone's like falling all over, and she's giving them the cold shoulder. And I'm like, I was with that girl last weekend. Sad story. I tried to go home with her again that night. It never happened. She rebuffed me. The point is, I thought, oh my gosh, this is how easy it is in life. I'm like, girls just fall on you, I guess. Well, you find out it's a once in a lifetime. It never happens again. Like you wake up that morning, you're like, oh, this is what being an adult is. Right. And then you're like, never, ever does that happen again. And I'm like, oh, I guess that.
Well, listen, I'm not single. But if I was single, for some reason, I feel like that would happen to me once a week.
Well, you are the beast, and I'm just Gary Roberts. My point is to bring it back to the Armbet app. I had this amazing experience with Sean McClellan, and then I spent all week in San Francisco. I even drove, because my parents are in the boonies, I drove an hour to where there was more dots, just hoping that when somebody responded, I'd go on a arm wrestle date. And then 2 people responded. They were like at work. And I'm like, take a break. I just need garbage can.
That's even better footage, right? The best footage you're going to get is when someone walks out of McDonald's and arm wrestles you and then goes right back in and goes to work. Exactly. That's going to be awesome. Yeah.
So it didn't happen. I almost before I flew home yesterday morning, this guy, he's like, oh man, you just missed me. I just going on a motorcycle ride. And I'm like, pull over, bro. I need footage. Anyways, to make a long story short, I've yet to have another meetup. I get back to Chicago. Since when I was in Chicago last, the app was still in beta mode. And I noticed there's 20 more people within 30 miles of me now. So I sent a bunch more messages, and cross your fingers. Hope tonight I get just good.
Yeah. It's happening so far, tonight.
So far, I'm wondering if, do you think
maybe COVID had something to do with it out west?
Yeah. Do you think I would have more luck if I just changed my name to Bob Jones and I've only arm wrestled 1 year?
I don't know, but why not have both apps rolling at the same time and just send the one generic invitation and the other one a guaranteed invitation? You'll find out which guy's there, and then tell the guy who didn't want you because of the hype that you're sorry you lied to him. But now that you know him, are you willing to film now?
Yeah.
That's how I would handle it.
So anyways, with all the trash talking I've been on the internet, if there's 2 guys out there, one guy's like so excited, he wants to arm wrestle, like, dude, we'll get into it. But if you're like nervous and you just want to like test it and you want to just take it really slow, again, I can wine and dine you. I don't need.
Hey, maybe my broken arms thing, you should have never put it out there.
Yeah, well, there's a couple people that have posted on Arm TV like, oh, I didn't realize the arms do break. And it's like, yeah, they do. Well, here's the thing. Back when I was counting on promoters to allow me to film their events and arm wrestlers to pay money, it was kind of like a hidden, unsaid thing to hide arm breaks, hide them. We don't share them with the world. And I'm not saying promoters care about entry fees over safety, but
the truth is that anybody who might break their arm, nobody wants their entry fee.
Yeah.
Like, nobody wants to watch the guy arm wrestle for the first time at their place, no matter how much money he pays them. The fact is for some reason, you're like a very evil person if you don't include everyone.
Yeah.
Same with the chicks. Like, guys, like, you need to have 5 ladies classes, 5 novice ladies classes. I'm like, my man. What are you talking about? Like, one class, and then, you know, make sure you just don't beg anybody to do it.
Yeah.
Make sure someone drove there to arm wrestle. But the same with the amateurs, same with novice. The whole situation is because nobody wants to see anybody break their arm, dude.
Yeah, it's almost like if I were a promoter and just hosting a tournament, I almost want to not even have novice. Like,
yeah, as soon as you could have. But then there's this, you want to talk about really making it a business, then don't include novice and ladies and masters, right?
Yeah.
But if you make arm wrestling a business, you better get ready for the haters. Because I don't know why, but it's hard to run an arm wrestling business. It's easier to run a charity event. You know what I mean? But you got to be careful if you don't include everybody in this United States.
You have an amazing ability to segue right into like, I'm glad you said that because I got off the, do you remember we had the conversation about Peter Milano? And you're like, original hater. And it started to come back to me. And then Peter Milano called me and he goes, I was talking to James Rodriguez and he's like, you're doing the same thing you did wrong in the beginning of RMTV days. You're doing the same thing. And I was like, what is it that I'm doing? He's like, some arm wrestlers, apparently James and Peter, you know, okay, I'll start off this way. I understand a perfect world. I would introduce you to every single arm wrestler in the world and have a full-on profile blowout of their entire career. CrossFit was really good at that. They would put as much effort sometimes into introducing you to Johnny Joe, Susie, whatever, and they probably spent $10,000 on a video of them, and they were technically not even well-known person. And like in arm wrestling, nobody's clicking on those videos on RMTV. Like, if I were to tell you,
no one's clicking on what videos?
If Devon Larratt, John Brzenk, those two are if they're not in it, the views go down. Then you got the Travis Bagent, the Ron Bass, Mike Celiars. If those guys aren't in the next tier, then the videos drop way down. If I every day was focused on a new arm wrestler, Peter's like basically like, hey man, why are you always focused on these two popular guys? And I'm like, those are the videos that are getting clicks.
Right.
What do you want me to do?
Right.
Like, here's the thing. And it's a tough thing because I made it my goal when I was filming tournaments back in the day to film every single match. Everyone, from children to novice to masters to grandmasters, whatever. I filmed.
Yeah,
everything.
you listened to the community instead of your business advisor. Yeah.
Whereas if I went, like, this is sad to have to tell someone this, but if I wanted to make arm wrestling a business, I would do more the approach of what Sevon did, which is go to the tournaments, film the top guys, and make little mini documentaries based on them. I might catch a few of the novice and a few of the others, but to truly make filming arm wrestling a business, I'd have to ignore 80% of the other people at a tournament. And I tried to not do that before, and it takes a lot of time. How long does it take to edit a John Brzenk Travis Bagent match? And then how long does it take to edit a Grandmasters match? It's the same time. Yet only the Grandmaster, his mama, his girlfriend, and his daughter are going to click on it. So anyways, my point is you segued like you got to make everyone happy. And it's like,
well, it just depends. Like you got to but you just can't be blinded by the obvious emotion, right? Like, even if you don't agree with it, right? Like, I know you should not have multiple women's classes at a local state fair if you are obligated to trophy them and prize money them. It's not going to be beneficial to your bottom line. However, it is a great PR move. Everyone knows it, right? You get 3 ladies on there saying, thank you. Finally, someone cares. And yeah, so yeah, then that, I believe that happens probably. That's, you're seeing it in your business as well, right? What do you do? The good thing is you can get confident enough to just do exactly what the fuck you want to do and explain it exactly that and don't apologize for it. So that's where I've tried to, and it comes off harsh to a lot of people, and a lot of people want you to explain it to them, but I'm willing to explain it on Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday I start shrugging my shoulders. By Thursday and Friday I tell you, yo, are you fucking stupid? I'm not trying to here to lose money. I'm only here to make money. That's why I'm here.
So I have all these, I'm going through all these matches, and it's like there's 7 days in a week. I'm trying to do a video a day, and it's like when I get to the Grandmasters or the women's, I know when I post the clip that day, it's like no one watches it. It's like I said I'd share everything, but I mean you're not clicking on these other ones. So what do I do? I don't know what to do. But anyways, I here's what I figured out. Arm TV, the channel of YouTube, is subsidized. It's basically on John Brzenk, Devon, Larratt welfare.
Good. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
I mean, and then like your clip with George, that's gotten some good hits. You and Devon. Anyways, it's tough. I don't have you guys in every video, so it's like I'm trying to keep people happy. But in terms of
don't you think you need to come here for a couple of days?
Sure. Oh, someone messaged me. They said, when are you gonna meet Travis and do something? Of course. Yeah. We have to. Yeah.
Hey, what about Thanksgiving? You guys got some plans for Thanksgiving? So I'm having my annual Thanksgiving Eve tournament on that Wednesday night. It's pretty fucking awesome, dude.
Is it
awesome?
Okay, well, you'll have to tell me some more details off camera. So
and we can have everybody too. We'll bring the wife and Bubs. We'll take care of everybody.
You're paying?
No problem. Well, once you get here, you don't need anything. You need nothing except for your presence. Okay. I will house you and feed you. But the preliminaries, I could see where I wasn't happy. You know what I mean? That really.
And did you eliminate the Kaplan lynching that would have happened?
Oh yeah. Nobody. Yeah, he went through that pain free. Yeah, I've never seen someone not catch so much grief for that. You know what else I learned? You can change the tournament, but never cancel it. Like, if you're having a tournament, you're giving away $100 million and you cancel it, just give away $10, but don't cancel the tournament. Because so many people will go after we're not here for the money. We're only here for the experience. And the fact is everybody came. We had 400 fucking entries or some shit. It was crazy.
So does Kaplan know at all that he'll return at some point during this moment?
I don't know. I didn't think so. I thought he was done, right? I mean, who does this? I mean, how could you recover? But
that's what I'm wondering. If you don't have this tournament that you're talking about right now,
I wonder.
Can you come back? I don't know. You can.
I wonder.
Because
you know what's funny is all of those titles they claim are legitimate, even though no one wants to talk about the fact that this is not the same tournament.
Wait, what titles? The titles from that event?
The titles from that event are why Michael Todd was the WL champion going into these single elimination things.
So you're saying
the fake champ is right there. Like, that's crazy.
What? So you're saying Steve Kaplan today talks about at that event that's part of the lore?
Oh, it's part of the whole fucking history of the WAL, and no one wants to talk about the obvious difference. I mean,
what?
Obvious difference. Crazy.
So you went out there focused on running an event, not arm wrestling.
Well, I mean, listen, it was $1,000. I knew I probably couldn't lose left-handed to save my ass, right? Even though I almost did. Almost hurt my damn tit and I almost lost, but I ended up pulling it out. And then I just figured their second or third place money, I think it was 500 and 250 or something. So I knew I probably wasn't going to win right-handed, but going into it, I was supposed to be on one side of the bracket. Dave Chafee, Michael Todd, Jerry Cadorette were all supposed to be on the other side. Well, Cadorette at the getting ready to start the tournament, Cadorette called, said he ain't coming. He's in the Hard Rock Hotel, and he ain't coming. Right? And we're like, well, what the fuck did you come out here and weigh in for? But whatever. So he decides not to come over, so we switched the bracket up, and now me and Michael Todd are in the same side of the bracket. So that's why we arm wrestled in the prelims, or it would have been me and Michael Todd in the finals. And Michael would have had to pull with Dave Chafee. He wouldn't even have made it to the finals because he needed that 3 out of 5 in order to even beat Dave that day.
So you're not, because you got a good deal with Cooper Tires and the thing going with Rockwell, you're like, well.
Well, it's just the training wasn't there. I mean, yeah.
See you, well. You weren't really.
Well, now, too, like, imagine that you're doing all this stuff and you're eating shit for this guy, getting sued, trying to get back. And then he probably, like you said, that I probably knew 5 minutes before I told you that my day's getting crushed. I think he knew, too. Like, yo, bro, come on. Stop suing people. Say, hey, Trav, I just want to let you know I dropped that whole lawsuit thing. Shit done hit the fan. I might not even be able to have my tournament. But you know what? No one's that transparent, ever.
So this is, the event was when? What? 2000?
Late June.
Late June 2017. And you're, where are you?
Stoney's.
No. Where are you with Rockwell and Cooper Tires?
Rockwell's upset a little bit that they've been sued. They gave the money away, and now, but they are happy that the guy closed down because they're ready to start back up then, right?
And so you're going to get money from Rockwell. Are you thinking you can blow that? Last episode, you're like, I want to be the man. I want to do.
Right, but listen, the fact is the lawsuit ruined Rockwell from a tournament situation doing it again. They have litigation paperwork that says that I am under contract until 2019, and that's how they ended it. Now I called them and said, yo, the fucking guy closed down. So now they're like, maybe now, in a few months from now, I can start these things back up. But of course, 3 months later, Kaplan reappears and says, we're all still under contract. No. You closed down, bro. No contract. He's like, oh, no, sir, we did not close down.
What?
Motherfucker, you called, you closed down. Oh, no, you reopened it when you had that tournament. And so to the business world, to society, except for an actual arm wrestler, the WAL never closed down, ever. They just made some format changes, some money changes.
What?
Crazy.
What?
Yeah. And listen, canceled the venue, canceled a bunch of stuff before he told the arm wrestlers. So, of course, the venue's not available anymore. But you know that, like, he should have paid for the same venue. Right? I mean.
So, somewhere along the point, Steve Kaplan probably never go on camera with this story, but somewhere along the point, he thinks, I'm just going to make it up. I'm Steve Kaplan. I'm making it up. I don't know if this is true, but here's what I think happened. Not going to get television. This is fucked. I got to save some money somewhere. We're going to cancel the event. I'm out. It didn't work out. He tries to cut ties. Then, so like, let's say.
He can't. Yeah, he can't cut ties.
Yeah, but let's say.
Because he has too many personal relationships.
Yeah.
So now. All these people are killing him.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So now he turns off the car, but the car is still moving. He wasn't driving it for a second. he wakes up one morning, he recognizes the car's gone a couple blocks on its own. And whether he likes it or not, there's arm wrestlers still trying to ride the wall car. People call Kaplan. He's like, hey, man, you don't need to put premium gasoline. Just put the basics. Someone else to drive it. He's like, fuck, I could just cut a check. Then a month later, he sees the car still moving, and he recognizes, oh, maybe I can run wall on a fraction of a budget and or
at very least I can pause. My dignity and integrity is still intact, right? Which is fucking surprising, right? That you could have your integrity still intact after this circumstance, right?
Yeah.
Not easy, right? But somehow he managed to do it because he did not cancel the tournament ultimately. He just changed it, right? Thanks to me and Karen and Reza and people that were I did it selfishly. Karen did it selfishly, but not financially. That ain't the way she does business.
Yeah.
She's more of a secret manipulator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's coming in the back door.
Yeah.
And now you have some indefinite obligation to keep the bitch around, right? Exactly. And she's fucking really good at the things that she does. So for me, I gotta worry about her trying to take over a little bit, but ultimately I do not have to worry about weigh-ins. I don't have to worry about people not in the right weight class. She never ever messes up.
Yeah,
so
she's good at what she does. So this whole thing, who feeds the idea to Steve Kaplan, do you think? You could redo it, but it can't be under a tournament format. It's got to be.
Yeah, I think that he had those options before we started. The second that we started doing business, we're in this room. We got 15 people in the room. He gets hit with the Arm Wars idea, and I think he gets hit harder from me with, that's the worst thing you could ever do. Do not do that. And he went with Travis Bagent, whether than with Devon or Neil Pickup or any of the guys that were chanting so I definitely had the influence to letting him know that, in my opinion, a real promotion could get all of us united, and you could give a big prize at the end and push unity all year. And the best way to push unity is just like Greg did. Let them have their own interpretation of what arm wrestling is. Just make sure that all forms filter theirself to our finals.
Yeah.
The better you want to do in the finals, the more careful you'll be about your programming, which meaning how you interpretate it, how strict the rules are, how awesome the stage is. But just know that no matter how generic of an arm wrestling situation that you have in South Dakota as opposed to Orlando, you will both have the opportunity to run qualifiers that connect you to the World Arm Wrestling League and get us all in one place once a year or twice a year or whatever the format. But make sure that we build an arm wrestling industry and not just have an arm wrestling event. Let's create jobs. Let's create seminars. Let's create tournament directors, right? Let's train referees. Let's make sure that our community has a lot of faces to it on why the greater good would be to split revenue and join the World Arm Wrestling League. And we had a good thing going on. We had over 70 event directors, and everybody was really happy. And then once they changed the format of the regionals, we lost a hunk of them because their claim to fame was going to be third or fourth place in their particular weight class in their particular region. Once we combined them all together, we realized we had a lot less third place finishers that were willing to really push the project, the product.
So before you go on, I would just like to say that Josh Handeland, he was really happy that when I was talking about Uncle John and I mentioned Josh Handeland, you said Josh Handeland's a really good arm wrestler. Has become really good. And he went and posted on his wall. He said, Travis Bagent gave me a shout out. Says really good arm wrestling. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that, but he thanks you
Yeah,
for
Josh and I
recognizing.
have an interesting relationship, right? So the very first time that I met Josh, he was too young to be in the PBR for your tournament,
Oh
for your
yeah.
RTN. Yeah,
What?
him and Yosef were there.
How do you
And
remember that?
well, because so that I could tell that they were terrified that they were going to get kicked out. They had already been warned. And I said, yo, players, just come sit right here beside me in this front row. Just you with me. Don't worry about it.
Holy fuck.
So the
Wait,
fact of the matter
stop.
is,
I can't believe you brought that up. That is
yeah,
right.
of
They
course.
couldn't get into the tournament.
Of course,
And
yeah. So they wanted them to leave at a certain time.
the finals,
after
they
6
couldn't.
o'clock or something. Yeah. So,
No,
but I think they ended up sitting beside me, and I tell them, just relax, man, I got you. So that was my introduction to them, and they were both head over heels in love with Travis Bagent. But then they start this 5-year span where they are trying to grow their brand and product.
I'm being interrupted by the main sponsor.
It's all good. It's all good.
Oh, sorry.
What, are you being too loud?
She says I'm loud. Okay, go on. Their 5-year span of what?
Oh, yeah. So then you got this 3, 4, 5-year span of those guys getting involved in arm wrestling, running tournaments, going to other tournaments. And then the honeymoon phase of us kind of wears off. And all of a sudden, Josh is in the, Travis is greedy. Travis is doing it, So the fact is I think that a couple times I probably told Josh to shut the fuck up and explain yourself or something. And then
come a long way from Josh
Handeland
not being old enough to get into the tournament.
Yeah, exactly. Now he's
like I said, now they're experts. Yeah. Everyone's grown up.
Yeah,
everyone's
Josh is an
grown
athlete. Up. I mean, you're talking about a guy who switched to running, and the dude's a stud. Yeah, intelligent guy. So I don't have any. I like Josh. I think Josh has gone a long way. But it's funny how the introduction, the honeymoon phase, and then real life happens, and then perceptions change and people change, and then you come all the way full circle. So
well, I brought him up because he said in the comments, Travis is right. That format that they had was the bomb, and they should not have changed it
ever.
Like it was awesome, and I'm
I'm
sad.
telling you right now, the secret to arm wrestling is getting a bunch of people in the room, but dividing them interestingly. Don't just put them all together and find out who the one guy is. Like, put the brown-haired guys over there, the blue-eyed people over there, but make sure that when they leave, the guy who won the blue-eyed is arguing that he's stronger than the blonde-haired guys. But if you show them all, if everybody comes together and we go down to one guy, as great as that is from a content department, easy to follow, all that. It is very threatening to the athlete to truly be exposed.
But it works so well with CrossFit. CrossFit need to have. I know this. A little side.
Would CrossFit be bigger? Would CrossFit be bigger if there was no finals? There was only regionals, and then you could just, because of all the times and stuff, you could create a winner from the regionals, right?
I know.
Did the content, did ESPN and the super elite and people like Dave Castro, who like me care about who the fucking real guy is?
Well, right? the reason I brought up, because Sev Amatosian told me early on, he goes, Rich Froning's awesome, but it helps that he's exactly this height, exactly this build, and he's like catered his size, and he's just catered for the way the CrossFit games are. And if like Travis Bagent, 40 pounds heavier, X amount of inches taller, you will always struggle with that format. And it's like, should you have a class for the bigger guy, in the format? And it's like,
yeah, I think
CrossFit,
that the way CrossFit did it is amazing. Like, that's how you should do it. However, I'm just telling you that I am like Rich Froning. I'm okay with all of us getting together.
Yeah.
But what if you're not Rich Froning? What if you're just Rory? What if you're Adrian, right? You don't like it if everybody comes. Because if everybody comes, your 5,000 place. But the fact is that if we have just a certain category like Rowe and him doing their competition, it was perfect for them. So, you know, I think that there's a lot of athletes that you know, really putting it out there with the best of the best. Not as interested as if we split us all up. And
okay.
Those regionals did a great job of that.
I'm on board with you. I love the tournament format. The thing that does get me is I didn't realize if I tell you we're going to have the biggest tournament in the world, you know, 1,000 competitors, that also comes with extra tables, extra refs. It's like, it's just extra headache to manage that. It makes me want to live in a world where I don't even want to touch. Like if I get back and I have arm wrestling blow up and I'm involved, like how do I even touch a tournament with that amount of needs, like all these tables and refs? So it does scare me to know that if you want to blow up arm wrestling in the tournament format, that it comes with all that need.
No doubt.
Like it does scare me.
There's no doubt. That's why, to me, the single elimination, each round is the best 2 out of 3, is the best format, because it's just a bunch of mini super matches that are in a tournament format. So the fact is each individual match is a 2 out of 3 in itself content. And then, of course, it just keeps carrying over until we actually have this ultimate thing. So I do agree with when you go to the losers bracket and then you got a separate bracket, you know, it's a clusterfuck. The good thing about if we had a tournament with 1,000 people, right, we could schedule the heats at certain times, right? Like you could put the bracket up and let the people know that the first 25 are going at 9 a.m. on table 1, you know, but you know that you're going to run into that problem. You got to take the good with the bad. And for me, and I'm not saying I'm right. I just know that's how I feel. So that's where my energy, that's where my focus is.
So Steve Kaplan came to you to help with this tournament, cut down on the Kaplan hate. Were you involved at all with the return of?
We hope you like the content. Thanks for stopping by. Please leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. Now click that little bell icon so you get notified. This was Gary Roberts and Travis Bagent live.
Damn it!
Do something else. Don't ever say them 2 names to